Hello and welcome to another episode of Road to 1000 Manga. Today I thought I'd do something a little bit different, and I'm filming in a separate room, and I'm going to try to make this into like 3 videos I've been meaning to do all in one, and I'm going to try to do it as quickly as possible. 3 videos am I going to try to include in one wall. The first one's going to be the Road to 1000 Manga new episode. It's the end of the month basically, so I have quite a few to show off, and it's going to be my other manga updates, which includes manga I've got that are not supporting the industry, like used manga. And the third one is I'm going to talk about a couple of topics that I've been meaning to talk about. Firstly, I'm going to go over the topics and as to the reason why I'm not in my usual room. This is another room in my house that I decided to film in, and that's because I don't know about you guys, but doesn't it really seem like collectors like me and other people that film in front of their collections are kind of being a dick? Like, it's basically us being a dick doing that. It's showing off, hey, look what I have, I'm awesome, so look at it and enjoy it because you don't have this. Basically, that's what I get from seeing other people do that, and it really makes me think to myself, do you guys really enjoy that? Do you enjoy seeing rows and rows of manga behind me or other people, or does it really just seem like we're being dicks? Because from my point of view, I think we're all being dicks. So yeah, that's my first topic I wanted to talk about, was us really being dicks and kind of being show-offs by doing stuff like that. The next topic is kind of on that mindset, in the fact that collection update videos like this, and collection videos in general, are pretty dumb and really show us being dicks as well. Because again, it shows, look what I got, I'm awesome. Like 2 to 3 years ago, I was heavily into watching, for the first 2 or 3 years I was collecting manga, up until about 2 or 3 years ago, about 2 years ago actually, I really enjoyed watching collection videos and watching sustain the industry videos, and a lot of that fell off, and I guess it's picking up again, but I don't watch them anymore because it really is just us being dicks. I mean, what's seriously, like, what is the point of doing these? It's not really helping anything. It's not a review or anything. It's not criticizing or encouraging you to go out and buy anything, unless we do a brief summary of it in the video, which I don't do. Yeah, videos like this are kind of really just us being dicks. I remember 2 years ago, I was really overly conceited, really. Whenever I hit like my first 200 manga, basically 200-300 manga about 2 years ago, I was just overly conceited. I was not a pleasant person to be around. If you met me in person back then, I was a dick. I was cocky and a dick. But I've seen the more and more my collection grows, and the older I get, more modesty becomes of me. Like, now, like, 1,000 manga is a big number. I've noticed this in a lot of people, and once you get to that number, it just, collecting isn't so much about collecting anymore, it's about actually enjoying it. Like, before that number, it's always like 1,000 manga is a far off place that I will never get to, and then once you finally get to it, it's just, wow, I really did that, so where do I go from here? Like, I passed 1,000 manga last year sometime, and it's just, I'm knocking on the 2,000 manga door, and it doesn't feel like an accomplishment. It doesn't feel like I've done anything. So yeah, basically mega collectors like myself and some other people that have bigger collections than I do, and basically the 1,000 manga and up club, they're just really more modest than a lot of these people that are just starting out with their first couple of 100 manga or anime or whatever. But I've noticed once you get to the point to where you do have a mega collection, you're not really overly conceited about it, whereas a bunch of the other people with beginning collections are really just over conceited, and I have to say I was the same back then as well, but it just seems to me that the more stuff you accumulate and the bigger your collection gets, not just in manga but everything in general. I collect a lot of things, but the more modest you get, the more respectable person you are. It makes you, not just because of the size of your collection, but your personality, or at least that's the way it was with me. Like I was saying, I was really overly conceited and a cocky asshole, but now I'm a lot more modest than what I was back then. So yeah, that's the end of my discussion rant thing that I wanted to hit on a couple of topics about. And now I'm going to do used manga, so yeah, let's do this. The first set of manga I got recently is Mermaid Saga by Rumiko Takahashi, volumes 1, 2, and 3, which is all but the final volume. I've read about halfway through volume 1. I'm really enjoying that. Now we have Miracle Girls 1 through 7. This is actually a really old Tokyo Pop release, and if you'll notice, the manga is really small. Like, I'll hold up a Viz Media title, I'll put it over it like this, and it's quite a bit smaller than your actual normal manga, and that's because a lot of the older collectors may remember Tokyo Pop, and the even older collectors that was around when Tokyo Pop started, you'll know that they was called mixed comics. Well, during that era, whenever they was making the transition, they had a line of manga called pocket manga, and that's what these are. They are smaller than your average manga and basically meant to be traveling around with. So 1 through 7 of it. Okay, so now we're going on to the bigger stacks of manga, which I got a lot of. The first of which being Red River, volumes 1 through 16, and then 18 and 22 of this series. It's a 28 volume series. It's an old Viz Media title. It's a shoujo. In fact, you could probably call this whole episode the shoujo title accumulation, whatever, collection update, because most of what I got is shoujo this time. I don't know of anyone has Red River. I don't know of anyone that made an effort to collect it other than myself, but it's a really old shoujo. I haven't read it yet. I got it at the beginning of this month, so it's been a while. I just haven't made time to read it yet, and I don't really know anything about it. I just decided to buy it. Okay, now we're on to the second mega stack of a certain series, and that is Angel Sanctuary, volumes 1 through 20. It's another shoujo title. It's an older Viz Media title, just like Red River. It's not quite as old because some of these volumes are still in print, whereas Red River, it's so old and I guess not many people bought it, so they had low print runs. But I believe every volume of that may be out of print. Don't quote me on that one, but I do know you can still buy Angel Sanctuary because I've seen it around. But yeah, I got volumes 1 through 20, and that's the complete series, and as I said before, I haven't read this one yet. Okay, now we're on to the part that the video is named after, and that's Road to 1000 Manga. I got 20, 30, maybe 30 some odd volumes for update this month that actually count toward the Road to 1000 Manga count. And just like the last one, I have another mega stack. And it's another shoujo. Like I said, this is the shoujo month basically, and that's Ouran High School Host Club 1 through 18, which is the complete series. And just like the other two, I haven't read any of this one because I've been really busy on catching up on reading Case Closed in my free time, and just haven't made time to read up on these. My backlog titles for reading manga is outrageous. It's in the hundreds that I have not read. Okay, now we're on the home stretch of this video, and this is gonna be it. It's a smallish stack, I guess, compared to earlier months, but as you've seen, I've bought a lot more used manga recently than what I have. That's money I could have put toward this, but I was getting those instead just because of them being out of print, and I found good deals on them. But yeah, I'm gonna from now on out, I'm going to start focusing more and more on just trying to beat 1,000 manga, because it's not looking like I'm going to pass it in this year. Maybe within 2 years, maybe within a year and a half, I don't know. Unless I really buckle down and just start racking up on some titles. 1,000 manga is out of the question this year. But yeah, here we go with this last stack. We have Arpeggio of Blue Steel. It's a 7 Seas release. It's a newer one that came out at the beginning of this month, I think, and I don't know, haven't read it, probably won't read it for a long time. Next up we have Demon Love Spell Volume 6. This is the final volume. I still need volumes 1 through 5 of it. We have Air Gear Volume 31. We have My Love Story, another shoujo. I actually did read this one. I really wanted to do a review on it. I still might do a review on it because it's a really good shoujo. It really catches your attention. It's one of the more different shoujos I've read in a long time. Really, really like it though. Next up we have The Seven Deadly Sins Volume 2. I think Volume 3 is out by now, and maybe Volume 4, I don't really know. We have Say I Love You Volume 1, another shoujo, no surprise. Phantom Thief Jean Volumes 2 and 3. Still haven't read Volume 1, I have it, and I need to read all those sometime soon. Naruto Volume 66. I haven't read it. Yeah, since Naruto's on its last leg, I'm just going to wait until it ends. Then I'm going to buy up all the volumes I'm missing, and then I'm going to read the whole series over. That way I can get the full effect of the series, because I never got up to date on Naruto. It's never been really big on my list to get up on. I don't read it weekly or anything, so I'm pretty far behind on what's actually happening. Next up we have Battle Royale Angel's Border. Haven't read this one. I did watch the live action movie of Battle Royale. Haven't got the manga because it's older Tokyo Pop release, and the volumes are probably going to be pretty hard to come by. And lastly, but surely not least, a manga that I really need to make a video on and make a legit review of, and that is Monster by Naoki Urasawa. I haven't read any of his works before this. I do have them. I have 20th Century Boys and Pluto, but I got Monster and I broke down and read it, and I just couldn't put it down. This is probably the best manga I've read this year, as far as starting new series. It's very, very good. And there you have it. Here we are at the end of the video, and it took a whole like 12-13 minutes. Yeah, so this takes always a lot longer than what I intended to. I guess I'll end the video with another question, I guess. Sure, why not? What kind of videos would you like to see in the future? Drop a comment down below if you want to actually see periodic update videos, like whenever I buy something, instead of just once monthly showing off. If you want to see as I'm buying it, sure, I can do those. I don't really know what videos to make from now on out. I don't really want to put in a bunch of effort to make full-on reviews of stuff, because that actually takes a lot of time. Though I plan to start doing that as soon as I set into my new schedule with work. I'm still adjusting to that, so that's been holding me off quite a bit from doing things I normally like to enjoy. But yeah, so if you have any videos you'd like me to do in the future, just drop it down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Later.